Right, got a bit of an exclusive. Dean Harrison interview. We were going to do this at the beginning of the season, but things got busy, so no time like now while he's having a little break from racing for...
recovery period, let's say.
Yeah.
We'll say I'm in a recovery period, so I've got a few weeks to drink tea and take it easy for a few days.
Yeah, so actually, while we're on that subject, do you want to just sort of tell us, A, what sort of injury you had, and B, how close you are back to racing?
Close back to racing, I reckon I could go now, to be honest. It's the team that's sort of slowing me down a bit and giving me a bit more time to get up to speed again. Injury wise, probably rider error, I think, probably caused 90% of the crash. Turned into Doran's bend probably a bit early. Clipped my shoulder and my back on the wall on the insides. I'm leant over.
How fast were you going at that point?
On that little 250, I'm in about fourth gear, so I don't know what it got between maybe 90 and 100 mile an hour-ish. So it's somewhere around there. I should have done little things. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I broke 4 ribs in my back. I punctured my lung and I ruptured my spleen. So I've had a few weeks off to recover to it. I'm alright now because I can just about cough and sneeze. So you know when you can cough and sneeze after breaking your ribs, you're on the mend. Yeah,
it's a bit of a shame really, because that actual race was going to be you against the rejuvenated Bruce Anstey, and he was looking good and you were looking good, and I think that was going to be probably the best of the classic TT really. It was going to.
I just got a massive lack of 250 experience. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? So it's for them you sort of probably get a bit complacent with a little bike, and
they're almost toys compared.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're so light, they don't weigh up. But it's live and learn, don't you?
Yeah. Well, anyway, so maybe next season, are you planning on riding that bike next year?
Yeah, no. All being well, it should be all okay a minute to go again. The bike's actually, I never fell off the bike. The bike didn't look like anything, so it was me that took the brunt of the impact. So. I heal for free, hopefully, so it's I'm going to be 100% healed, so it won't be too bad.
Yeah, well, I suppose it sort of robbed us from the senior classic as well, because that ZXR just looks out of this world to be honest.
No, the ZXR is brilliant to be honest. I was upset about it, saying not right next is a great bike to ride, the ZXR, but we'll have to go back next year and have another go.
I'm sure we will. Right, so really, the big news this year, I've known you a while now, Dean, and I've seen you on many podiums over the time, but this year 2019 senior TT winner, how does that feel?
Brilliant, to be fair. It's the biggest road race in the world, isn't it, the TT, so to win the last race of the week, the senior, is unreal, to be honest. It sort of didn't really sink in a bit. You sort of, when you've done something you sort of set out to do it was good because I've now won in every class.
Yeah.
Every current CC class at the TT I've won, so which is good. So it's nice to not just be a one specific specialist in that class. It's good to get one across the range.
Yeah.
The senior is obviously the biggest win because it's the big superbike class, and it's the big bike races are the ones that everyone wants to win.
It seems. I mean, to be quite honest, I felt 2018 it was going to happen, and I know you're not a big sort of let's find a reason, even if there is a valid reason why that didn't happen in 2018, you're not one to play on it. But it's quite clear now, the big bikes, it's you and Peter Hickman.
It's close. There's a lot of other people close. Peter's riding really well. He's riding everything, to be honest with you. He's short circuits, a road race is a class act, to be honest. It makes my life really hard. But not just me, there's everyone else that's around me and behind us, and he makes everyone's life hard. But no, it's good that everything's going from strength to strength.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's good to have somebody that sort of keeps you moving it forward, because you and him are moving forward every year.
Yeah, no, that's it. No, you've got to keep just chipping away and try to get the best from the bike, and the team's working well. And it's just it's difficult, and it's a tough game. It's how hard you go.
Well, obviously, I mean, that new BMW is a bit of a rocket ship as well. I mean, are you?
There's no bad bikes, I don't think.
No, I think
all the bikes work. Don't matter what manufacturer. There's all good bikes out there. It's which team can get the best from the bike.
Yeah.
That's what I think some of it is. So we'll just keep chipping away with the Kawasaki and keep going forward.
You got your Kawasaki mounted for next year?
Yeah, no, Kawasaki's the same again. ZX6, ZX10. So we'll have basically the same bikes this year, all being well.
Right.
Refreshed. I'll get the 600 a bit fresher, to be honest, because the 600s now are a bit of a I wouldn't say dying class, but it's a bit of dying class really. It's a bit.
Can you actually buy one?
No, you can't. That's the problem. You can't get a brand new bike, so you've sort of just got to buy parts and build the best of what you've got. So we're going to try and get a new bike or the best we can for next year, and keep going forward with that as well.
Yeah, I mean that Triumph looks quick as well, doesn't it?
It's Triumph same thing. You can't buy a Triumph.
Yeah.
They don't make Triumphs. They don't make Kawasaki's. They don't make Hondas. They don't make Suzuki's. There's only Yamaha. I think that's the current bike you can buy here. So.
Well, they're at the top in World Supersport.
Yeah, and British Supersport. It's a bit frustrating really because the 600 class is such a fun class to ride. It's such a good class to watch, and it's a good middle ground between Superbike and the Moto 3s or the smaller bikes, but. The Moto 2 class is taken off at BSB quite well, isn't it? So we'll have to see how that develops over the next year or so.
Oh, good. One thing people sort of, with the road racing, they tend to overlook some of the other races, which for me, the Nw200 is just an unbelievable event to go watch. It's a bit like the TT, but everybody sets off together.
Yeah, I really like the Northwest, to be honest. It's good. When the sun shines at the Northwest, because it's such a holiday destination.
Yeah, when the sun shines.
But it's probably one of the nicest places to be.
Yeah.
And I even like the tracks more now. At first, it took me a while to get into it, and now I've got into it, but I actually quite like the track. I've got into a bit of the rhythm around there, and I've had a really fast this year. The weather wasn't quite that good on Saturday. I've had seconds, thirds. Never quite won there yet, but I'm going to keep trying.
I think it's getting there. I mean, to be honest, the weather just ruled out any chance this year. I think, didn't it?
Exactly. It doesn't matter where you go, whether you go to Spain, whether you go on holiday. It doesn't matter where you go. If the weather's bad, the weather's bad. It doesn't matter where you go racing on. But unfortunately, the Saturday wasn't very good. All week, perfect.
Yeah, and you were on the pace, and to be honest, you were. There was you. So obviously, Alistair Seeley. I think even Glenn Irwin was looking all right on the Kawasaki. The only time he did this year, really. And then Hillier sneaks the tyre choice of the century and wins on.
That's the thing. When the weather conditions are not ideal, everything's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
But then again, I think that makes it a little bit interesting sometimes.
Of course.
So, I mean, everyone loves a bit of a tyre gamble, and whatever pays off. It's good.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. BSB for next year. What's your plans?
BSB next year, the plan is they're probably the same as this year really, as many as we possibly can. It still seems to be working and doing me and the team the world of good, to be honest, so we'll keep doing the BSBs and we're getting a bit better and a bit better and a bit better. I'm chipping away. He's so competitive and everybody on the grid is on top of the game, and I take me out to the BSB lads because the people are such fast riders, the world class sort of riders on the grid, and to try and get in the top 10, which I've been trying to do, which has been hard. I've sort of been at Cadwell Park, I was in the top 10 for a little bit, and then I finished 13th, I think, in race 1 or race 2. So not quite got there yet, but I'm scoring a few points here and there. So we'll just keep chipping away.
People have no idea how the people that don't know racing or the behind the scenes how good that grid is. I mean, you've got MotoGP riders, World Superbike riders. You've got people that have won in some serious grids, and a second separates the top 20.
It's tight, yeah. The grid is so tight. You literally try. You say to somebody, I could do with finding. I'm trying to find 2 tenths or 3 tenths, and look at you that not into it bike. Like, what, 2 tenths, and they don't understand how tight it actually is. But trying to explain to somebody, it takes longer to say 2 tenths than it does for 2 tenths to pass. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's because it can get quite frustrating sometimes and just make life difficult.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you've got people like Scott Redding's come back into it. He's actually surprised quite a few people.
He's been a class act this year. To be fair, I think he's tipped up. Tracks he doesn't know. And he's just been he's been absolutely on the money, to be fair. So I take me out, to be fair. Yeah. He has been a good, a brilliant rider, and it'll be really interesting to see how he gets on next year in Worlds, because he's done a lot of the tracks and they sort of probably suit his style a lot more than the shorter British tracks.
And I think he's got more. He's probably more used to a bike with the electronics on the wheels. Yeah. So I think he'll be. I think he'll be definitely the front anyway. It'd be interesting to see how close, as in like winning to the front, he is. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. World Superbikes this year was interesting with the Bautista Johnny Ray thing, but I don't quite know what happened there. But it sort of tipped on its head, and Johnny Ray showed his.
Johnny Ray just. That's why he's 4 times world champion. Fingers crossed. I hope he is 5 times world champion, to be honest, because. I sat watching him at Donington, for example, in the rain. Yeah. And he just was in a different league. Yeah. He just gone, and he didn't never puts a foot wrong. He just absolutely on the money every lap, and I just think to be so consistent on just year after year, just.
He's one rider I think could have done it in MotoGP.
Yeah, it's a shame, and we won't get involved in the politics of MotoGP.
Right, we're going to wind it up now, but what we're going to do is we're going to offer a little bit of a competition. Dean's new clothing range out this year. You've got t-shirts by Red Torpedo, really good quality stuff. We're going to give one of those away, and we're also going to give 2 tickets to the end of season BSB finale at Brands Hatch, courtesy of Dean and Silicon Engineering. If you can answer me this question: the 2014 Isle of Man TT, Dean and his father made history. How? If you message on Facebook the Town Garage Facebook page with that answer, I will put you into a hat, and a week before the Brands Hatch round we'll draw it out and the winner gets a t-shirt and 2 free tickets. Thank you very much.